A testing one. Okay, I see it now. It's all working. Sorry, my audio was having a little bit of trouble. I was trying to make sure it was all working. It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of BeyBlade Land. And I still need to delete those cubes. I should have done that before I started the video. That's my fault. I'll do that real quick. I'm sorry, everybody, for wasting your time. And mine. I did that in the last video just to make a point and get a brief understanding of how it was all going to work out. And I already knew how it was going to work out. I was just trying to explain it the best I could. So today I'm going to start doing the detail work. Oh. How'd I miss two? I thought I got them all. Okay, there we go. I was like, what? I thought I did good. I did not, apparently. Also, I've been throwing myself off. I thought I was in Java in the last video. I don't know why I thought I was in Java. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. This is Bedrock, which means I can't put any mods in here. I am split between using Java for the server I'm trying to make and Bedrock, which is where I'm making all these Beyblades. And I already got two more recommendations. I got Tyranno Beat, and I hope I'm saying this right, Killer Bayfall. One's a X generation, one's a Metal Fusion generation. I'm going to hold off on the Killer Bayfall for the time being. Not because it would be difficult for me, but because I don't have a place to put them. I haven't fully decided where I'm going to stretch all these out, because please understand, there are literally hundreds of Beyblades. There's so many different kinds. So many different names and types. Just saying a basic name like Valtrek, you're bringing up literally a dozen Beys or so. Same thing with Spryzen, and so on and so on and so on. The Dran is 4 different Beys now, I believe. I could be wrong with that number. I think it's 4. Because there was a Dagger Dran, Sword Dran, which is the one I'm making. Then there was Buster Dran. And I don't know the name of the new one, but I know it was the CX generation. Or was it UX? I don't know. I haven't bought any of them. I've been seeing them all over the internet, though. Really been seeing them. Okay, let's get started. I want to try to get this done by the end of the video, and I am wasting time rambling. Okay, let's start with some of the lighter work here. I want to work on the bottom side because there is a little bit more I got to do there. But I'm going to start with the top, get some of the basic shaping done for the swords. But I need to start off at the right points, otherwise it is going to look absolutely pitiful. Wait, hang on. Is that... Hold the phone. Is that right? Okay, scratch that. I need to edit something. I was off by a couple of blocks here in the measurement department. This point, the little plus sign that is where you build and break stuff. I'm going to point that at the areas I need to fix. This one right here needs to go to about there. I was off. I'm sorry. I didn't notice till now. And that one needs to go to about there. Which means I gotta move it over. No! I don't want to. I don't. Oh. You try building something and then moving it. It's annoying. I thought I had all this right last time. This is the only feature I don't like about the Beys. You see this? You see this? This whole top section, it rotates. So that's what happened. I had this part off, which made the top piece a free spinner, and then it rotated, and I didn't notice. It rotated on me. Five, 3. No. There we go. Fill you in. Add the nub. Okay. All I want to do right now is decompress my stress by listening to Nightcore, and I can't even do that because I have to stay here and I have to get this done. And I ain't playing stuff that I don't own the rights to or that I wasn't given permission to use by said creator. Actually, no, that part seems right. So it's just this thing. Okay, there. Is that better? I wouldn't go as far as to say it's perfect, but it is a tad better. Okay, let's start shaping the blades. Let's see. I think I made another goof in here. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'll just work it out as I go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need to be a perfectionist. I know it's not going to be perfect. This is the best I can do with what I have. If I wanted to make it hyper-realistic, I could have made it bigger, but then that would take me longer, and there's hundreds of Beyblades that are going to fill up this world when we're done. So no. My answer is no. We're not doing that. As much as I'd love to. Okay, let me see. I need to raise up the centers a little bit so that they'll create that little sword feel. Something I admire about what they did with the swords, instead of making it all just one solid piece, it actually branches off. And you can actually see other trapezoids in its design when you look at the blades. So from this angle, all you see is a piece of steel. That's all I see on my screen. But from my point of view, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trapezoids just on this one angle I'm staring at. And in between there's also some small triangles. I think that's very creative. Something people experimented with in the geometry phase of mathematics. I'm speaking in simpler words to not confuse people with giant things like algebra. Because this is Minecraft. We're not doing math here. But they tried to find ways to create structural shapes because they were fascinated by things like the pyramids, if you know what I'm talking about. And you should. It's one of the most iconic things in history. The Great Pyramids of Egypt. 4 triangular faces and 1 giant square bottom, and yet somehow they've stood up as an absolute testament of time itself. And there's all these rumors going around that maybe they time traveled at one point, or maybe they made contact with aliens, or how did they do all this with this number of slaves, and this amount of labor should have taken them like so much longer, and oh my gosh, like, dude, how'd they get all that done? I could do the bratty girl voice when I say that, the word like, but people have been trying me to get stop doing that because apparently they find it too cringy and too annoying to like, oh my gosh, Decker, shut up. Enough with the voice. I get a laugh out of it. I guess it's just me, though. Okay, so that branches down. Something interesting here, though, is it starts off downward, but then it just slowly, ever so slightly, picks up. So actually, when I look at this, this should be wider. In fact, it should be wider on all these points. And then that should branch off. That part's right, it's just not at the right elevation. So actually, I don't know why I deleted both. I only needed one deleted. Goes about there. Actually, no. Hold on. Frappernacle. I made a mistake. I didn't even realize I made the mistake. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Oops. Too far. There we go. I'm trying to do it justice and get all these details just right. Okay, no, so that part's... No, that's right. That's right now. Okay, now we can continue. I wasn't following the basic standard procedure that people use for Beyblades. What they try to do when they put the ratchets on, they try to match it up with the contact points to decrease the chance of it actually bursting in battle. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So when I look at the little holes that are in here, I can see the frame for the ratchet, but I just barely see it through that hole. So that matches up. I just had the curvature of the arrow wrong. Horribly wrong, in fact. In fact, I still kind of do right now, but it's better than it was. Better than it could have been, I guess. So... if I'm going off of size... I have this horribly wrong. I'm close, but I'm not exact. So what these three little metal points do that are circling around the face bolt, it starts off at a near point, but then it thickens as it gets down. And based on its size and measuring that out inside my head, it almost matches up with the actual shape and actual, like, I guess you could say line work for the actual face, but only the bottom jaw. So then that comes down here, and that branches off. Too far. And it goes all the way till it meets this point. Actually, no, that one stays thick. There we go. It goes down, but it never fully levels off. It stays at this thickness, because this layer stays pretty much flat for the actual sword. And then it comes back around, and then it thickens about here, inside the sword. And this whole section actually angles. It angles inward like this. So actually, these two spots get deleted, because that looks almost like a straight line when I look at it in the hole. It's still angled a little bit like a tooth, but not fully. From one angle it looks completely straight until you actually see the rest of it. And then it thickens up about there, while leveling off on the actual sides. So I should probably get some some stone stairs for that one. Do we? Yeah, we do. I was gonna say, I could have sworn we had stone stairs in Minecraft. And I'll worry about the full detailing later. So something, I guess, kind of like that for the moment. If I have to come back and edit it, I will. It's not a problem. And then it does that all the way around until it gets to the second one all the way over there. Oh crap, how do I recreate that here? Okay. One step at a time. I know I'm not going to get every detail down to the exact. I'm fully aware. But I can get it close. I can get it very darn close. I am no slouch when it comes to doing this type of work. Yeah, so that whole part actually stays up. So I'm not seeing any inward angles on the inside. And if there are, they're so small that you honestly can't even create them. Not in this section. So that part stays thick. It doesn't dip at all. It only dips on the outside. What about that part? Do I need to cut that down at all? Yes, yes I do. Because this one actually looks like a saber. There we go. See that? Now we're getting somewhere. Ah! Went too far. Shh! You saw nothing. Okay, this is where it gets just a little bit trickier. Where this hook meets up, it goes onto that little curving part that I referred to as like a zucchini knife. That's a little bit tricky for me to recreate here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cyan. I keep feeling I'm pronouncing this wrong. Maybe I am. That does it. I need a block I can actually pronounce correctly. You know what? Let's just get one of the most random blocks we could ever use. A beehive. This is a dumb idea. Oh my gosh, that would actually suck if I put beehives all over this and then bees just come and inhabit it while I'm building. I just break the hives. Where are they going to go? That'd be awful. That's why I'm doing it. Okay, so it lines up with the flame, not fully, but around the hooking section. So that would be... Okay, no, that is right. I just had it wrong based on perspective. That'd actually be about right there. Oh, that's why. Okay. It hooks up with the back of the hook, so it goes right in here. How do I get that at that angle? Okay, I take it back. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm so glad I'm laying this out before I do anything. So something like that, perhaps? Maybe? One can only hope. It would be nice if I could stack it up like snow. That'd be helpful. Sadly, that's not going to work. It dips down in the center, but it stays rather thick on the sides. I don't know. Looks kind of funny to me, but it's Minecraft. I can't control everything. There's no way I could control everything on this. Okay, I thought I could get the majority of this done in one video. I was sorely mistaken. At most, this whole video is just going to be me doing the top blades. Just getting the basic line work for it all laid out. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. It maintains that point. And it keeps that angle. So this portion actually... I say crap. Crap nuggets. I'm choosing funny words instead of foul-mouthed swearing. I thought that'd be entertaining for you. Was I wrong? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. I try to keep swearing off my channel, that or to a minimum. Sadly, there are some people that swear incessantly, and I cannot control that. All I can control is my reaction. So instead of saying highly inappropriate words, I'm trying to keep this part of my channel completely clean. Yes, I know there are some bladers out there that have a very foul mouth. You know who you are watching this video. And quite frankly, so do I, but I'm going to try to keep it relatively clean. If I feel like I want to swear, I'll use a substitute. And if I do swear, I'll edit it out so none of you have to hear it. I promise. I'm not getting this done fast enough. I'm aware. I'm sorry. The height goes up a little bit, but I can't control that in here. At most, it would be like maybe half of this. That's how much higher it goes. So there's no point in me raising it up or dropping it anywhere. Except the very end when it just curves downward. Yeah. So this portion... starting at about the top of the fire, it curves down. So we're going to drop that by half. It still maintains... there. Mispronunciation. Still maintains that little upward edge. So... as shocking as this is, I don't need to edit that. It looks absolutely bulky, but that is actually accurate. If you look at the actual blade itself, the one we just did is very thin, but this portion is a lot thicker, almost twice the thickness actually. Almost. So this one I can actually live with. I can live with this one. Okay, I see now. So you just... It goes up almost like a mountain piece. And then there's a little line. Can I recreate that? I don't know if I can recreate that. Is there anything I can use to... Well, that pattern works, but colors don't. No. That might work. Maybe. On second thought, no, that's not going to work. How am I going to recreate that? I'm overthinking this. It's putting me to sleep. That's not good. There's a little line right in here. Maybe I could just use a darker color. That's probably my best option. That's about as close of a placement as I can get. There's a little space, it dips down, and then it makes an oval. But I can't put that in here. A, there's nothing small enough to do that. B, there's nothing intricate enough with pattern-wise that I could use. And unfortunately, C, I didn't make the BeyBlade big enough to compensate for that one. I still got the majority of the detail work done and added, so that I can live with. Actually, hang on. That one does angle slightly. No. Come on. There you go. And if I just... Yeah, that works. It's actually looking a lot better. I'm liking this one. True, the colors don't blend fully, but this is still beautiful. This I can work with. Okay, so everything but the final patch in here is gonna be almost completely flat to the edge. So starting at the lower piece of the flame about there. Actually, no, right there. It maintains its thickness almost completely. And then it drops right as the next portion starts. Holy crap, I'm actually starting to fall asleep. That is bad. This is straining my eyes and it's making my brain tired. I don't want to sleep, but man, it's making me want to. Okay. So it branches off. Starts angling again. And this goes all the way till I'm off by a hair. That's better. Till the tip of the blade. Actually, no. Raise that portion up. Yeah. But then it also dips down in that section. Oh wait, the blades get higher. They get higher at the end. Okay, well that's a small oversight on my part. Okay, so this portion sits up higher. That portion goes down lower. And the blades sit almost dead even. Mm-mm. Stop it. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so that's better. I was off by a hair on literally all these measurements. Actually, I'm still kind of off right now. It looks a little bit funny right now, but I'm sure it'll look better later on. It's fine. I'm just going to casually work my way around this and I'll fix it all one by one. I still got 5 more minutes, so I'm going to get just a tad more done, and then I'll end this video for the day. Okay, so let's see. It's the same thing here, so I need to thicken this one up on the sides. I need to raise this up. No. I'm trying to work this out in my head, and that just didn't work well. Yeah, it's probably better. You know what? Change of plans. I'm going to finish this part off, and I'm going to title this video Finishing the First Blade. And then I'll work on the second blade in the next video, and then the third and the last one following that. And then any additional details will go in one video afterward, assuming I have to do that. I've never actually recorded myself making BeyBlades until this entire series I'm doing. So this is a bit of a nice change of pace for me. It's forcing my brain to actively think for a change. Yeah, that works. What about there? That one stays a tad more hollow. And as for the top section, it keeps that point, but only to an extent, and then it drops down. And the rest of that pretty much gets filled in. Right, I forgot these drop down. These ones increase in height. Is that right? Tad more spacing. I think I got it. Okay, sweet. Just to make this easier on myself, I'm going to go ahead and raise this one up too, since I have the time. I could just pause my recording and just build all that now behind the scenes, but I'd rather not. I'd rather take this one step at a time, and if I do that, I'm going to be sitting here for hours, and for some reason, my eyes are just giving up on me, and I really, really need to get some sleep. Just for a little while. I don't know why, I can't explain it, my body's just tired. It's for the best I get some rest. Okay, good. That's evenly done on all sides now. Okay. We now have one blade done. Could I edit that so I could take that off the screen for a moment? Hide HUD. It's actually looking a whole lot better. Sure, it's not 100% accurate, it's not 100% detail realistic. I can't do that in Minecraft. I can get it close, and this is pretty darn close from what I'm seeing. It almost lines up with the blade exactly. Actually, hang on. How far is that? Delete that by 1. That section was just a tad too thick. As I said, I'm going to be adding and I'm going to be deleting in the following videos. Oh yeah, that's much better. Almost dropped him. Oh, that's it. I need sleep. I'm just comparing the bay to my screen real quick. I can't really do it with the one I'm building on. I mean, I can. It doesn't look right to me, but looking at the actual monitor I'm using to record, it's a lot easier for me to compare the size of the bay to it. It looks like I might need to shave off a little bit on the third blade when we get to it, and potentially just a hair towards the end of the second and the start of the third. Because some of that shaping doesn't seem to line up correctly. It's close, but not exact. That section where that pink piggy is needs to be extended just a little bit. Other than that, I got it almost dead accurate, if it's design-wise. Alright, I'm gonna stop this here. After I get my HUD back. Alright. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off. And I will see you. Almost yawned there for a moment. Next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. I hope to see you all back here in BeyBlade Land again soon. Hey, one more thing before you go. Can you please check out the links in the description below? Give them a follow, and join the Discord server as well. Recommend more games for me to play. And while you're at it, go down to the comment section. Put down some Beyblades that you want to see me create in Minecraft. I already got 2 more on the list that have been added, Killer Bayfall and Tyranno Beat, so throw some my way. I'll see if I can buy a few online and make them. Please note, if you make it a really rare bay or really expensive bay, I'm building this off of a bay in person, and no offense, but I'm not going to want to sit there and buy a $200-something bay just to open it once and build it. Okay, that's a lot of money to build a bay in Minecraft. So please keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm going to get off before my brain shuts down completely. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.